Hey guys, it's Cerulean Jake bringing to you another episode of Fire Emblem Engage. In the last episode, what did we do? We got Emblem Camilla. Had to check my notes there for a minute. It is a new recording session, kind of. It's more like a continuation of the recording session. Those were two really long chapters, one right after the other, so kind of wanted to take a break, go ahead and sleep. It is now the next day, and we are picking up right where we left off. Kind of bad. Not a great pull there. Let's see what we got. We got a 3-star pull this time from the well. So definitely want to check that out. See if we can get enough steel to get a 4-star pull. That'd be nice. So we don't really need any more shielding arts. Like, I guess it could be good. We could keep one and give it to Alear. Because it could be good for Alear to be able to just have, what is it, +5 defense or something? What is it? Yeah, +5 defense. So, like, if we're not really wanting Alear to do much damage, we just want him to tank, then it could be good for him to be able to just pull that out. And the other was an iron great axe. I think we actually sent an iron great axe down. So... Oh, no, we didn't. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll do both of those. Those are a little under steel tier, unfortunately. So I don't think we're going to make steel, but we can try. What about Wodao? How much is... Okay, can we get away with a stiletto instead? No. Okay, so the stilettos are probably what was screwing me over last time. Toss down another Wodao. Call it good. Let's get a 4-star pull. So what are we going to do this time? Well, I don't want to just go ahead and move on with the chapter just yet. I'd say... I took a look at it. I'm pretty sure we have 4 paralogs available to us. Definitely don't want to do all of them just yet. So I took a look around at which ones are probably the most important to us. And I think probably what we want to go with is we want to do 2, followed by the next chapter, and then 2 paralogs. So that's the direction we're going to be going with moving forward.
Hi there, I'm Jean, a doctor in training.
See if Jean can get a free level here. Should be an easy win. Not should be, it is. Not bad. Got a build out of it. It's always nice. Next. Ooh, Alcris is right there.
It's me, the Brodian prince who isn't Diamant.
I swear to a fair and honest challenge.
Appreciate it.
Oh my.
So there is one big elephant in the room that I have not been acknowledging. I just kind of just let it happen and then moved on. Alcris, I think that's 2 bad level ups in a row for you. What the hell? I mean, I appreciate the build. Always take the build. But could have backed it up with like a strength or something. That'd have been nice. Anna's close. Yeah, we'll do Anna.
I'm Lady Anna, the mysterious merchant.
I am Boucheron,
All right.
Royal Knight of Firene. More experienced warrior, one out.
Wanna win next
The
time?
more experienced
Have
warrior
I got
won out. The
just the thing for
12-year-old
you?
child. Compared to a... what are they called? A royal retainer. The more experienced warrior won out. Okay, well, we have a couple things that we need to do. No, the elephant in the room is not Camilla, believe it or not. I do need to get to Camilla. I will explain how she works. Hopefully not going into too much depth, because I always have a tendency to make these things too long. But there is one thing that happened in the last chapter that I didn't acknowledge it then. I haven't acknowledged it yet. So now let's talk about what happens when you hit level 20. Jake has hit level 20, and, well, I mean, is that it? Are those our stats? We're just done? No, actually. I may have mentioned this prior, but I cannot recall if I did or not. As you'll notice, by this point in the game, Master Seals and Second Seals have become infinite purchases. So,
I thank you.
I can purchase a Second Seal here. And what this is going to allow us to do is if we go to our inventory, we go to Jake and then change class, we can actually reclass to a level 1 version of our promoted class, or just what we are right now. Our stats will stay exactly the same, and the really cool part is that we do not need to hit level 5 to reattain our skill. We just keep the class skill. So all this is effectively doing is resetting us at level 1, and we can just continue growing. We can do this with all classes. This is not a Divine Dragon exclusive. So no matter how much you've been training one individual unit, feel free to just keep going on them. Because, I mean, the only thing that is really going to prevent you is if that unit has a bad matchup into a certain unit. So take Chloe, for example. Honestly, Chloe's probably, like, just gotta be the strongest unit on our team right now. Just gotta be. And even so, Chloe does have issues. Like, we can't just rush into archers. We are not invincible. So that is something that is worth considering. You don't want to just dump all of your levels into a single character unless you have a plan. But you can over-level certain characters and you will be fine. You will be able to reset them to 1. Now, let's get to the emblem rings. Emblem Camilla, in my opinion, has some good stuff going for her, but isn't the best. So what am I talking about? What's the big deal here? Camilla misses out on one key feature that emblems really like, and that is adding damage, which is a little unfortunate because that's kind of Camilla's big thing when it comes to her appearance in her original game, is that she was kind of a powerhouse. So it's really unfortunate that that doesn't end up translating to this game at all. Instead, Emblem Camilla gets a lot of interesting tools available to her, and I think that that's actually, it's not bad. I think she has a lot of stuff going for her. So to start things out, Emblem Camilla 2 gets Dragon Vein, something that Corin gets. Here's the thing though. Emblem Camilla has different Dragon Vein effects than Corin has. So let's just take, for example, if I were to pair Yunaka with Camilla, we have seen repeatedly what Dragon Vein does when paired with Yunaka. Well, if I were to switch over to Camilla, instead, it creates a smoke that decreases both defense and avoid. The way that this ends up playing out is Corin has a tendency, no matter who she is paired with, to create positive effects, whereas Camilla has a tendency to create negative effects. This is not a rule that applies for all of them. For example, I know if Camilla is paired with a flying unit, then she can create healing tiles. So it's not a perfect hard and fast rule, but it does have a strong tendency, I have noticed, that she creates a lot of negative tiles. And oftentimes, she'll actually place them under herself. So, why would I want to do that? That sounds terrible. Like, Camilla just sounds like really bad in that case. Well, actually, it's not that bad, because Camilla will eventually get access to, if you jump down on the screen there, Camilla gets access to Groundswell. And what this does is that if you are ever on a temporary type of tile, say fire or poison or water, you will clear the ground effect and you'll gain HP from it. So in effect, what happens when you pair Camilla with someone who will put a tile underneath themselves, instead of debuffing yourself, what you do is you debuff everything around you, and then you also heal just for using the Dragon Vein. It's a pretty nice combo. It does leave a little bit to be desired, but it's not bad. The other things, though, they're not great. So, Decisive Strike. Deals damage to the foe after combat is initiated with the user. Okay, let me back up. That was a word salad, and I kind of got lost in the middle of it. Deals damage to the foe after combat if the user initiated combat and triggered a critical hit. Okay. I have a couple questions for you. We'll let you work out whether or not this is good. So, are you going to be initiating more combats than you are getting initiated on? No? Okay. So that means Decisive Strike doesn't trigger that often. On top of that, Decisive Strike only triggers when you critical hit. Is it more often that you are going to critical hit or not critical hit? Not critical hit? Okay, so now Decisive Strike is happening even less. But, saving grace, when it does happen, it deals damage after the combat. But if you critically hit something, then wouldn't the hope be that you killed them during the combat? I think you're beginning to see the issue with this skill. Not only is it incredibly hard to actually make happen, but on top of that, it just doesn't give you any effect that's really worthwhile. I don't know, maybe there's some like crazy units in Lunatic where this is actually a pretty great skill. As far as I see, this kind of sucks. Now, Detoxify is just kind of bad from how niche it is, not because it's actually a bad effect. It's exactly what it sounds like. Cures poison at the start of the turn. Pretty good. I would never want to inherit this. This is kind of just like the Emblem Sigurd thing where I can't be frozen. Great when it comes up. Just completely pointless otherwise. Going on to Emblem Camilla's stats. HP, res, and speed. Now, speed is amazing. We are a huge fan of that. But, you know, it's not really what we were needing. Well, in terms of the other stuff, HP and res. It's not really what we were needing. Speed and maybe some damage, either strength or magic. That would have been pretty cool. And then after that, if you wanted to give us HP or res, then fine. That's not what we got. Whatever. Fine. Now, the Bolt Axe, if we're going to go over to the engage weapons, the Bolt Axe is a magical weapon. Imagine, whoops. Yeah, just imagine the Levin sword. It's an axe. Got it? Cool. Lightning, as I recall, which I need to click down. Not in heroes. Engage. It has 3 might, 75 hit, 0 crit, 10 weight. Magic weapon, if the user initiates, then it attacks twice. Yes, that's what I thought it did. So it's a brave weapon, which is pretty nice. It will come up in certain scenarios. The might is rather low on it, so it ain't perfect, but it is something. I definitely don't hate this weapon. However, Camilla's axe is where she really shines. We actually saw what this thing did in the last chapter, so I'm not going to go into too much depth in terms of how strong it is. All I will tell you is that being able to pick out magic units and say, you're dead. Pretty cool. I actually kind of like Camilla's axe. I do like using it in those niche scenarios. Now, I've kind of been burying the lead here. What is the major reason you would want to use Camilla? Well, this is it. Soar. When you engage, you get Soar. It grants you +2 move, and you can move across terrain as if you were flying. Key feature here, it does not make you a flying unit, so now you get all the benefits of being a flying unit without needing to be worried about archers or wind tomes. So cool. Like, very, very cool. Flying units have traditionally been the best units in all of their games, with very few exceptions. Like, I can think of, you know, I'm pretty sure Sigurd was the best character in his game. Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, every other Fire Emblem game has had a very standout flying unit that is just amongst the strongest in the game. That's just how flying units tend to be. They're very, very strong. So, just being able to pick out any unit that is already strong and say, hey, for 3 turns or 4 turns, you can fly now, and you move further. This is like a mini Sigurd that trades in a little bit of movement for flying. That, in and of itself, is great. The only reason I would say that Sigurd is better than Camilla is I think that Sigurd has more to offer in the way of stats and other skills. Camilla's other skills are not very good. So, I think she's a very strong emblem, but she's not quite Sigurd level. Now, the last thing to go over is Dark Inferno, which I can't seem to navigate to. We did see how this works. Basically, in a grid pattern, she's just going to light everything on fire. This tends to not do very much damage. I would say the biggest use for Dark Inferno is actually area denial. You've seen that what I've been doing is I will go up into a space with a unit that is able to attract attention and just completely shut down an area. So take pairing Gold Mary with what's it called? The Soren skill. You know what I'm talking about. Making her the center of attention. Assigned decoy, that's it. Assigned decoy on Gold Mary. Suddenly, she can just shut down an entire area that foes can't get through because everyone has to go past her first. Same thing with Yunaka, dropping a smoke bomb. Same thing with setting up illusory doubles. Camilla has that same ability. It's just a little harder to use because you actually have to have an enemy nearby to be able to hit with Dark Inferno. So, that's my favorite way to use it because trudging through that fire is so hard to get through, but overall, it's not the best engage attack in the world. Overall, I would say Camilla lands somewhere on, like, I lean towards A, but she could be in B tier depending on what you value. The way that I would use Camilla is, honestly, she kind of fits a lot of different archetypes. She does really enjoy being on those mixed attackers because you're able to grant them the bolting axe. But you could also just stick her on a magic unit and you make full use out of the bolting axe. You do lose a little bit of effectiveness from Camilla's axe, but that's fine. Bolting axe and lightning end up being pretty good on the magic units. And then finally, the last way I like using Camilla is actually the reason why Camilla has made it onto my long-term team. Camilla is going to be permanently paired with Seedall. So, Seedall has...
Camilla.
Let's kill them quickly.
Seedall actually has a problem. He does not have very many good emblem rings to go with him because none of the emblem rings are entirely support. So, like, I mean, Veronica has a lot of supportive capabilities, but I mean, it kind of renders the whole contract useless. And for the most part, I'm wanting to spam dance anyway, so I wouldn't really have a whole bunch of time to summon a hero. I mean, you could turn into a dragon and give somebody a divine blessing, but then that's 3 turns that you can't dance. You could do Byleth, but I mean, this one's not bad. I will say pairing Seedall with Byleth isn't horrible because sometimes you just engage and then you goddess dance instead of normal dance. There are a few emblems where you could see like some reason why you would pair Seedall with it. The best pairings I've seen are Sigurd and Byleth, or what we're going to do now, Camilla. So, +2 move and fly across terrain to be able to dance people sounds awesome. So that's what we're going to go with, and I believe I have rambled on long enough. It is time to get the chores done and move on with the chapter. I will see you in a minute. Alright, and we are back. There is some refining I need to do. So, this is something that we held off from doing last time. The very first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and upgrade Reprisalis, since that's pretty much everything that Jean is using at all times. So, I want to make sure that's nice and powered up. Next thing that I wanted to do, and I was considering Folkvanger as well, I forgot. I want Folkvanger over... you know what? Chloe's been having a very good time. She's doing fine. Folkvanger, I'd say, needs the upgrade more. Let's go ahead and give that on over to Diamant here. Next, engravings. This is actually an engraving that we've been waiting on for a long time. So this is part of Panette's build. The reason we've been investing so much into this tomahawk and making it so good is because part of Panette's build is putting the engraving of Revelation on this, giving it the +30 crit, which I believe, I could be wrong, let's go ahead and take a look at the other ones. Fates also gives 30 crits. This gives 20, and that gives 20. So yeah, tied with Fates, this is the highest crit that you can get in the game. And ultimately, we want to go with this one more because we want more damage out of the Tomahawk. We don't really care about losing Avoid or Dodge because the idea with this build is that we're going to proc Vantage, we're going to go first, we're going to be able to hit anything that comes at us. We kind of want to get hit because we want to be able to get our crit going. And we want to be able to do enough damage that we kill with that crit, so we don't want to drop the damage on the Tomahawk. So overall, this definitely fits with what we're going, and that is part of the build, so here we are. Got that out of the way, and we are done. Let's go ahead and head to the chapter. Where are we headed? Oh, actually. I forgot to get these out of the way. Hold on. These will be really quick. So where are we headed? Well, I had a few choices. And I think overall, the best choice for us is going to be Byleth. And the reason I say that is because I'm pretty sure, I could double check here in a minute, I'm pretty sure that we are maxed out. Yes, we are bond level 10 with Byleth. It's going to be a little bit before Jake is able to get the emblem ring that he is meant to go with. And Byleth has been serving as a good alternative for quite some time. So I want to go ahead and upgrade him. And we are getting past the point where Byleth's chapter is going to be all that challenging. So we want to go ahead and get it out of the way. So that is where we are going to be headed next. To the world map. Also going to have a couple of these open up. We have 2 new Paralogues open to us, rather than just the one. We also have the chapter out in the middle of the ocean there. But we are looking for Byleth, which is up here in the Sacred Tomb. Let's begin the chapter. The instructor.
What is that? In the back there. Is that a throne?
This resembles the Holy Tomb. That's a place from my world.
What is the Holy Tomb?
It's where the goddess Sothis sleeps. For the Church of Seros, this is the holiest place of all. To ensure the safety of the tomb, a monastery was built atop it.
Okay. So, why is it here?
Only a very few know the legend of Saint Seros in the Holy Tomb. Saint Seros received power and revelation from the goddess, and with it, a sacred duty. She was to save the people of Fodlan, and use her power wisely in order to lead them. Perhaps it's inevitable that we'd be guided here.
Why do you say that?
If the bond between us is to further strengthen, then you must face a trial here.
I see. And you want me to fight you, Byleth?
Show me whether you can wisely use the power you've gained on your journey so far.
Understood.
In your eyes, I see no hesitation. Good. Ready yourself.
I'm ready, and I won't hold anything back.
All right. So, this map, very much like Emblem Byleth said, takes place in Fire Emblem Three Houses. This is a very critical chapter, and basically where the story starts to finally come together. If you don't know, that Fire Emblem Three Houses is kind of divided up into two sections. There's the first half and the second half. The first half is kind of just school days. You get paired with a class of your choice, and it is your job to guide those students into becoming stronger warriors, as well as well-educated students. That is why you're called the professor, or the instructor, because you are literally their teacher. Well, eventually you get to this chapter, and while I won't go into detail, some critical information is revealed in this chapter that spirals things out of control and into a war, which ends up being the second half of the it ends up being the second half of the game. So if we were to take a look around, what's going on here? We have a bunch of crystals. What are these crystals here for? These crystals actually reflect, what are they called? I don't remember what they're called. There's some important stones that you're supposed to protect in this chapter because the tomb is being raided and these are being stolen. Instead, in this chapter, they are breakables, and it is your job to save as many of them as possible. So, if we are able to... There is no reward for saving every single one of them, so you don't worry if one breaks. There is a reward if only 2 of them break, and there is a reward if only 10 of them break. We obviously want to aim for getting both, but the really high tier reward actually isn't all that important. It's just an elixir. We're more so after the talisman, which is the easier one to attain. So, yeah. But that is not all. We also want to take a look at some references here. I believe these here are supposed to reference the students, or the leaders. Right here, this is meant to represent Dimitri, Edelgard, and Claude. Now, this is a little off because the Wyvern Knight should have a bow rather than a sword, but Claude is known for riding a wyvern, so I guess this was the closest they could get. Whatever the case. We have lots of cool references going on with Three Houses here, so we do want to go ahead and tackle this chapter the best we can. What do we have? This is a chapter where we're going to be wanting to move rather quickly, so I think Gold Mary is actually not the call here. We want to go ahead and drop her. I wouldn't mind bringing in Seedall. Not because we just got a new emblem for him, but because we are trying to move so quickly, it'd be nice to be able to move twice. So I'm going to bring Seedall. Anna is also getting rather close to maxing out. So I want to be careful with how much I use her. I think since this is a little bit more of a controlled environment than the next chapter will be, let's go ahead and bring her. So over which one of these? I would say... I think Ivy's had her time in the sun. Let's go ahead and bench her for a little bit in favor of Anna. And then this is probably good. Let's organize here. I believe the only ones who will go after the crystals to try to destroy them are the berserkers here. I think the swords masters will actively target you. So you want to try to rush these berserkers. If I'm recalling this correctly. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm gonna get screwed here. We will find out. So yeah, Diamant over there sounds good. This over here is a bit of a situation. Block here with Jean, but that doesn't help because he's gonna run up. You can deal 42 damage to these. It doesn't really say how much health they have. So, I don't know if he'll live one. You have Canter, so you could actually come over here and deal with this guy. You can run up, whack, back off. That's probably the way we want to deal with that. Up here, this definitely looks like a saline type of situation. Magic and axes, armors, yeah. On top of that, we will also have Yunaka going that way. Move you around, and I'll have Yunaka go straight. And actually, we can put Jean back here. This looks good to me. Let's go ahead and get a save. And start.
To win the fight, keep your eyes wide. Always know where your enemies are.
What are those things scattered around the battlefield?
Those are my targets, and I will destroy them. Unless you can prevent me from doing so.
I'll guard them well.
Well, didn't need further explanation. Byleth just said, those are my targets, and I'm going to destroy them unless you can stop me. And we're just like, instead of asking, well, why do they matter? Do I need to guard them? Are they important? Instead of asking questions like that, it's just like, I'll guard them. You ain't getting them.
Say the word.
Like, okay.
It's tea time.
So that was a very easy start. All right.
And they lived
Don't mind
happily
me.
ever after.
And we will back off. We're not going to be able to get out of range, so we'll just back off that far.
I'll do my
And then I
best.
will block here.
Yanaka here.
And then do I want to start baiting these guys right now? I'm not so sure on that.
Let's go.
Let's focus on this first. Get a free kill
put up a
there.
good fight.
Then we can
stage is mine.
engage. Already coming up clutch. We can engage and dance. Then we can back off. Move in. Get another free kill. Seedall is definitely one of those ones where you don't need to be scared to engage. It's just, if you are needing to dance somebody, then just do it. If they're just out of range, just go ahead and rip it. It's not a big deal. Now, these guys, how do we want to handle this? I mean, you're mystical, so you're going to go through, but 28 damage is not a lot in the grand scheme, especially since I have 20 res. So going right here and dropping that smoke bomb seems good to me. You're actually right in range
My will
where I
is
will
firm.
attract attention if I get closer. But it's just the mage, so I think I'm okay with that. We're also going to move you up, as well as you.
Customers?
And I'll have Jake go
Alright.
this way. Looks good. Oh, nope, those guys are going to attack the crystals as well. I was just wrong. Maybe I'm remembering that the important ones to attack are the berserkers because they do so much damage to the crystals. Maybe that's what I'm remembering. Okay. Well, let's turn around and go ahead and just kill these guys. You can definitely tell that we're over-leveled since we are doubling these Swords Masters. Much less of a problem than Camilla's chapter was. We had some inability to double back then. Not really scared of a stiletto, so go ahead and move in the way. Now we'll get you dead.
Simple enough.
Canter away. And now I want to deal with these guys. They are getting close, and those silver axes are going to do quite a lot of damage. So we do want to save those crystals if we can. This one should be nice and easy to get.
You were beautiful while you lasted.
As well as this mage will be easy.
I'm still alive? Huh.
1,000 gold. Not bad. We're not going to be able to one-shot this guy, so I'm going to start on this side. And then Seedall. Do us a dance. I don't want to move that far forward because I don't want to attract that attention.
This will hurt.
Well, I would have appreciated that crit a little bit earlier. Would have made life a lot easier. Alright, what do we got? Yeah, I wanted to take out this guy. Can I get to him? Yes. Awesome.
Thank you.
So the goal with Anna here, we do not need to level up in this chapter. We just need to get close enough that if we arena spam, we can get it. Because I don't want to be capping in the next chapter and then just not be able to use her. So next what I want to do is I want to attract the attention of this dragon. We're going to do so with Yunaka, of course. Not even close. But if we rush this dragon, then the other one's going to be able to reach us. Never mind. We actually managed to pull him out of range just enough. Also, I don't know if you were able to hear my phone ping, but that was my Discord, not yours. I always like it when YouTubers do that because it pisses me off when I hear it, and oh my god, that is a topic to talk about. Holy. Okay, so first off, I'll finish what I was saying. It pisses me off when YouTubers have a Discord message go off and they don't mention, hey, that was my Discord, don't worry about it. Or they don't mute the noise. I first experienced this with Nintendo Capri Sun where he did point it out, and I so appreciated it. Like, that was such a good ad. But that is not the same for everybody. And you know what else has started happening that I am just unbelievably infuriated by? Some people have decided that the Discord message noise is a great sound effect to use for every time they make something appear on the screen. I want to murder those people. Not literally, but it just a I hate them type of way. I cannot believe that they thought that that was a good idea. That is the dumbest idea I have ever heard. And they just run with it. No one's ever called them on it, I guess. Oh, whatever. I guess if nobody else is calling them on it, then I'm the only one who is bothered by this. But I can't. I have a hard time believing that. I have a hard time believing that I am the only one who is bothered by the fact that some people use a notification sound just in their video. What am I getting here? A mage? Ugh. Go over here. Okay.
A battle fit for Brodia.
Diamant doing pretty well on his own over there. Those soul procs are really coming in clutch. And this is kind of the idea that I had behind pairing him with Ike. Because I wanted to just make him really bulky and then just get a bunch of soul procs. But in practice, it just wasn't working out. And I know I kind of abandoned the strategy a little early. Diamant is one of my favorite characters in this game. So I really wanted to show him off in like a good way rather than just him being terrible and me swearing up and down, I swear guys, he's good. I actually want him to be good. So he did get a little bit of special treatment. Though I will say, when I was giving out stat buffs, he did not get nearly the same amount of attention as, say, Saline or Ivy did. So that is a little fair, I will say. So I will say this, when it comes to pairings for dancers, this is another reason why dancers struggle so hard to find a good emblem to pair with. It's because dancing does not refill our engage meter. If we want to be able to engage again, we're going to need to use emblem energies. It does also add a little bit of viability to the favorite food that you get from the favorite food skill that you get from Celica. So if you want to inherit that on Seedall, it's a little understandable. I find that it's not super necessary since engaging on your dancer is not the most necessary thing in the world. Okay, so if we do damage with Jake,
Ow.
how much damage can we do in a single hit with Anna? 25. Can we get it down to 25 HP? Yes. Okay, well, it's actually really liable that we're going to crit. But if we don't, then we can get... Alright. Never mind.
This time, victory was mine.
It's okay, we can still heal. So we did get something done that turn at the very least. Get some EXP. Let's go ahead and get moved into position. I'll have you bait that. Since it's archers. Bring you on down. So I think it's roundabout time that we go ahead and consult the list. I did already talk about the Duolingo thing. I forgot to scratch that off,
Another
though.
kill for me.
So let's get that scratched off. I want to talk about this. So, you know, let's just make this a hate episode. Let's talk about things that I hate. You know what else I hate? I hate leaks. I don't know what your guys' experience has been with leaks lately, but there has become an entire culture surrounding it. Now, I feel that I think we need a new pejorative or slur or whatever you want to call it. Slur seems a little too strong given the other types of words that are generally associated with that. You know, words that we don't like.
I have to keep everyone safe.
But just an insult is what I am meaning to say. We need a new insult for people who engross themselves in the leaks world. Because we have something like that for AI. You know, we have AI bros. That's meant to be an insult to people who get like way too into AI. So if we have that, you know, like leak bros, like obviously it's not very good, but I mean it's something. Ooh, I think I may have crossed the threshold. Actually, they might charge me. We might have to turn this turn back.
I smell gold.
Alrighty.
Be mindful.
Okay, so he did actually waste, so we're not going to need to turn the turn back. He did waste the goddess dance because these guys ended up not doing anything afterward. So that's good. We do like that. I am going to get Chloe over there. Get you as close as possible. I mean, you can engage and you can just be there. So yeah, let's get you over here. We need to be able to deal with the students. I'll continue on what I was talking about in a minute. You know what I just noticed? I forgot to give Alir a ring. I was wondering why he didn't get any SP. Because I was just thinking, how am I going to deal with what is effectively 6 people here? I was wondering how I was going to deal with that without being able to move again. I was like, oh, well, I can just goddess dance. Like, no, I can't. I'm just me. I don't have a ring. I forgot to equip one. Well, it's okay. It's not a big deal, but damn it, bro. Okay, this isn't turning out to be that hard. I think we'll be fine.
All in the name of peace.
Dimitri might he might manage to get through this. But Anna and Saline will take down Edelgard, no problem. We can just shoot down Claude. Which we're going to go and do that now. So yeah, Dimitri might be able to make it through this, but he'll be the only one. And I think we'll be fine with that being the case.
I did that.
One person ought to be able to take a hit. Now, if this were actual Dimitri rather than a fabrication, then, you know, we might be in trouble. But yeah, so talking about leaks. Leaks have gotten too damn crazy. Look, I understand that the fact that I come to Nintendo's defense, like, relatively frequently, I'm sure a lot of people could accuse me of being a bootlicker. I don't think I am because I criticize Nintendo a lot. But it's just not enough for their liking, is what I think. Well, with that being the case, there is one thing I'm going to come to Nintendo's defense here. Maybe it's, I don't, they care about it, but they don't really make any public statements on it. Man, the leaking community pisses me off. Can you just let them announce their shit? Let Nintendo decide when they are going to announce their next game. We have, like, the whole year of all the new Nintendo releases that we're gonna get. And we don't have a direct on any of them except for the next Fire Emblem game. We know about Fortune Weave because that was announced and we did see the trailer for it. Which, if you know my opinions on Three Houses, you can guess how a bit pensive I am on Fortune Weave, given that it is a direct sequel to Three Houses.
Ready yourself.
I had to stop.
Look, all I want is I want to be able to sit down, watch a Nintendo Direct, and be excited. And I just can't do that if people are just spoiling shit. That was definitely an interesting move when you had Byleth right there. Alright. Whatever you want to do, boss. He might get warped. I would rather him walk rather than get warped in the middle of us. So I'm going to do something a little weird here. I did mention this in chapter 17, that getting rid of problematic people rather than bosses are sometimes more important.
Get stronger.
Gotcha.
So no one can beat me.
Okay. Next, we're going to let you just make your way on down to us. You can keep going this way. You can bait the flyer. Who else? You got Silver Lance. Wait there, wait there. Alright, this should be fine. So yeah, it's one thing to leak what games we're gonna get. To continue on that topic, it's one thing to leak what games we're gonna get, right? It is another thing entirely to basically leak out the entire game before it happens. And Pokemon has had, like, a huge issue with this. Also, I see that these guys are not interested in attacking us and are only interested in breaking those crystals.
Winning.
And that's been extremely annoying. I remember, so my friends have recently started to get kind of off the leak train. I remember when Scarlet and Violet was coming out. You know what? I may just need to let you come up and hit me. I'm gonna block with this. Yeah, we'll leave it with that. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, my friends used to check on the leaks, and they still like to check on some smaller leaks, but they have recognized how out of control it has gotten. They looked at a leak for Scarlet and Violet before it came out, and they had their entire team planned before the game came out. How in the world is that allowed? Like, I understand it doesn't really matter if It don't really matter if Nintendo allows it or not, because it's not their decision. Other people were the ones that made the choice to make that happen. It's just so frustrating to me. I want to be surprised by games. I don't want to show up and just everything is already known about the game. There is no Wanderlust. That's the problem I've had with leaks lately, is they've just gotten out of control, and it feels like it's a business. That is another thing that bothers me, is I've complained about Twitter in the past. Twitter feels like it's a business now. It's all about catching eyes because you can make money off of people seeing your posts. I hate that because now people don't post things that interest them. People post shit that is going to get clicks and attract attention. It's all clickbait. It's all bullshit. So it's really hard to curate your Twitter feed now with things that are actually good and worth engaging with. This is fine. We actually get a guaranteed kill with that. You can honestly just back off. Well, maybe don't back off. Maybe just go over here. And then... I mean, you technically count as well, so... move you in. I just want you out of the way. Because what I'm wanting to do is this. There we go.
I challenge my fate.
Excuse me.
Me too!
Get one free.
Not over yet!
Here's more. Still going.
Not done yet! Look here!
Perfect.
I cannot lose.
Let's go ahead and finish off this chapter now. Boy, get in there, finish the job. You know what you're doing.
My turn.
I have nothing left to teach.
Alright. We are done with the chapter, Demont Lucina. Probably because he soloed that entire side of the map. Fair enough.
I managed to win. Somehow.
Well done. Your fighting was magnificent. The trial is past.
I learned so much battling you.
Thank you. But your skills were quite strong even before we met.
Still, you've taught me so many things. You're an excellent teacher, Byleth.
And that's kind of you to say, though it helps that you have such raw skill already. All I need do is listen and give a little nudge to those embarking on a path. Your success here is the direct result of all the choices you've made before today.
I've always understood that one choice leads to another, but I'm worried what might happen if I ever make the wrong choice.
You needn't worry at all. By passing this trial, you've shown the truth of who you are, and you have your allies to set you right. Should you ever begin to stray, remember, I will always be by your side as well. To the very end.
Thank you. I'll continue on my path, trusting my allies to help me along the way.
You've clearly learned all you need to here. Shall we continue on our journey?
So we shall. Max affinity upgrade. Perfect. So now, Alir should be able to continue on without issue. I've also been saving too much, so I'll need to go back and save over the ones that don't matter as much. Grab the steel ingots, a little bit of iron, a little bit of bond, and then we'll get out of here. That is pretty well I think I pretty well wrapped up the topic that I was going for there. So, since we are on a paralogue and not a main mission, we don't have any post-exploration dialogue. So, I thank you all for watching. It was a pretty good episode. A lot of good info here, I think. And I was immediately able to show off Camilla, so that was fun. I will see you guys in the next one when we tackle one more paralogue before we get to the chapter. So, I'll see you then.